few weeks ago on Tip FM in an interview with Frank Curry, the long saga of the 12 houses in Ashbury came up. I would like you to expand on what you said at that interview, please.
Thank you, Mary. I don't remember particularly the interview, but I presume I'd go through it anyway from memory. As you know, the houses were left in Ashbury in the state in which they were left. There was a remediation fund which was being administered by John O'Sullivan a number of years ago. That fund was allocated to the local authority to purchase Ashbury, which was on the open market. That funding was announced. The council were allowed, one bid for that, but simply within taxpayers' money, they were outbid by somebody else. So the funding was there, but somebody else outbid them within the range which they were willing to go. The funding was provided to the local authority. And now I understand that there is some more developments in relation to those houses at the moment, which is under discussion, and I hope that they will be fruitful. I even know of a number of organisations who are looking at those houses as well, because frankly, they're structurally fine, but they do need to be purchased, and they do need to be developed, because they will provide the homes that we were talking about earlier on in relation to our housing discussion. But that is factually, that is what transpired. So there are, I know, discussions ongoing at the moment in relation to them, and I'm hopeful of a successful outcome. I believe it's only a matter of time, to be honest with you.
Thanks very much, Mary. Michael Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I suppose in a public forum like this, it's very important that everybody gets the full facts, and the full facts have not been outlined by the Minister there a few moments ago. What happened in 2011 was a couple of months before the local elections, where Minister Alan Kelly made an announcement and more or less stopped the local authority from purchasing those houses, because in that announcement he basically told everybody what the council were willing to pay. So it was very easy to outbid the council. Now, I don't have it with me, but as late as 10 days ago, I made contact with Claire Curley, who is the Director of Services for Housing in Tipperary County Council, and I asked her, following what I was told the Minister stated on Tip FM, which was that there was certain activities regarding the houses. And I gladly furnished that to you, which she stated that the County Council have no communication and will have no communication regarding those houses.
Yeah, I think in every town, and in particular in Roscrea, there is difficulty and problems both with private accommodation, the exorbitant rents that are being charged, and my sympathy, and Barrow doesn't like politicians to empathise, but I do empathise with people who have problems with rent being driven highly. They have no say in it, and they have no options in terms of getting out. And the exorbitant rents that are being charged at the moment, they've almost quadrupled in 5 years, leading to poverty within houses and leading to serious difficulties, both financially and emotionally for the people that are affected, who have no option other than to pay the rent. Then you have the rent cap, which means that the gap between what they can afford and what they have to pay means that they're living with serious financial difficulties as a result of it. There's also a lot of housing stock here in Roscrea that's owned by the council, rented to the tenants, and there's a lot of defects. And these defects, we hear a lot about energy conservation. I was in a number of houses here in Roscrea, and people were highlighting the fact that they have back by it, they have stoves which were installed instead of the cookers, the old style Jubilee cooker, and with no back boiler. It doesn't make sense to be burning fires and not having them attached to radiators to heat the whole house. And as a result of that, there's issues with dampness, and there's issues in relation to insulation. So the council should look after its housing stock better and ensure that effectively that especially that they're energy efficient. The Ashbury saga, you know, we usually get confetti promises when it comes up to election time. And it's amazing what can happen 2 weeks before an election that couldn't happen in the previous 5 years. And Ashbury was a typical example of that before the last local elections. Now, there is movement in relation to Ashbury, and I think there will be significant results in relation to that estate in the very near future. But to be honest with you, that progress won't have anything to do with the Department of the Environment or the Council for that matter. It's because of the initiative taken by somebody in the private sector.
Good afternoon, the Minister now.